Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Mulberry Street from 21 Pilots and their album Scaled and Icy. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we peel things back. We get into the heart and the meaning behind the lyrics. So let's get in, see what's going on with Mulberry Street. Mulberry Street is the seventh track off Scaled and Icy. In an upbeat tempo, Mulberry Street integrates the styles of Saturday and the flow of Screen. The song is named after the real-life Mulberry Street, a road in New York City known for its Italian-American heritage. Mulberry Street runs through the heart of Little Italy, an Italian city in the midst of Manhattan. One line from the song, "Keep Your Sunny Days," was plastered on mugs sold by the band prior to the album's release and its live stream concert. Was that the mug that was in the it's not Shy Away, Choker, in the Choker music video? Hold on. Yep. There it is. Oh, here's another little detail. So obviously this is the one I was referring to. But check this out. It's a blurry image. It says "Good Day Dima." And I would assume the other side of it, if it is the same mug, says "Keep Your Sunny Days." Very cool. That's something I didn't notice in the music video. Which obviously, like, "Good Morning America," "Good Day Dima." The plot thickens. All right. Tyler said, "Mulberry Street, for me, there was a street in New York City where Little Italy is, and the first time I ever kind of left Ohio. My manager at the time, we had some meetings with like record labels and stuff, and it was just a classic kid going to the big city moment. He'd lived in New York City for a few years in the past, so he knew where he was going. So he took Josh and I and a couple of friends of mine that are still kind of touring with us and creating with us and stuff. He took us to Little Italy, and we had this, it was just like this. I've never felt more out of place in my life being in New York City. Eat at some, like we're gonna go get some pizza. This isn't the pizza I'm used to, just something that's simple, kind of really reminding you that you're not home anymore. And so this song to me was like I wanted to imagine that feeling again. Very cool. We do need to get to this Zane Lowe interview at some point. All right, into the lyrics. Into the fray. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Keep your bliss. There's nothing wrong with this. No. Tyler may be referring to the fact he's accepted his anxiety and depression, and now that he feels comfortable with said illnesses, it's okay to feel the whatever comes with those mental illnesses. Toxic positivity is not the way to go. The specific usage of the word bliss may refer to the fact that in the Dr. Seuss book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street runs into Bliss Street. Interesting. Keep your sunny days, leave us in the rain. Okay, so it is not a like keep as in hold on to your bliss. Like keep your wits about you. It's the opposite of that. Like you keep your bliss. Nothing wrong with this. Because it goes into keep your sunny days, leave us in the rain. Tie strings to our hands and feet to rain on your parade. You can have the weekends. We will live between them. Keep your pills, save your breath, and don't ever forget. Okay, interesting stuff here. This obviously is like talking about kind of a blimp is what it makes me think of. Because when you have a parade, you have the blimps or the floats, the big balloon ones that you have to tie strings to hold on to them and drag them out. It's interesting. So keep your sunny days, leave us in the rain. You tie strings to our hands and feet, like pulling you in to their bliss to rain on their parade. And they're all living about the weekend, but like we live in between them. It obviously sounds like he's speaking about, again, if he is writing partly from a perspective of entering the big city, like, whoa, because everybody thinks the big city's like, well, that's where all the important people are. And he's like, and there's probably a lot of manufactured bliss within the cities, lots of lights, lots of activity, all this other stuff. And it's kind of like, if you're just a simple person, then you're just a simple person. You're not like us city folk, country folk. And so it does seem like it's speaking of this kind of distinction. And he's really just like you can have all that. And I think there's probably this recognition of like, yeah, there's some cool stuff around here, but not like some people hit the city and are just infatuated by the city, drawn in by the city. I've got to live in the city. And it sounds like to an extent of him kind of just being like, I like my town in Ohio. I like Domino's. I don't need like, what you're offering over here. But let's see what some of these things say. The phrase "keep your sunny days" was featured on a mug sold on the 21 Pilots store, next to a lever on the control panel for those who purchased a live stream ticket. Tyler referred to rainy days in the 2012 song "Migraine" as a symbolism of his depression. Thunderstorms, clouds, snow, and a slight drizzle. Whether it's the weather or the letters by my bed, sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head. Us refers to Tyler in the Click, explaining that he understands that we have rainy days just like he does. Tyler refers to the Click and the band as being one and the same. He emphasizes this point by closing out shows saying, "We are 21 Pilots and so are you." The line refers to the giant balloons, such as the ones used in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which are tied to many strings across the balloons, including hands and feet. Instead of providing joy, the balloons, Tyler and the Click, are displaying a depressing atmosphere which ruins everyone's joy and good times, hence the term "rain on your parade." Tyler Joseph is no stranger to discussing weekends in his song lyrics in Migraine. So we've looked at those. However, the nature of Mulberry Street indicates Joseph has another reason for giving up the weekends. Weekends are the most common time for people to drink and party, oftentimes to cope with a stressful week. By explaining that they will live between the weekends, Joseph is eschewing this behavior and instead focusing on bettering his mental health. Okay, I think I was kind of tracking on the same line. So get out of our way. We're moving sideways. Welcome to Mulberry Street. I want to see like a map. Let's see. None of these are really standing out. I wonder if we go look for ourselves. Hold on. Okay, so here's Mulberry Street. This line where Little Italy is. All right, I was just making sure it wasn't like a circle because you have the whole mulberry bush. Interesting. The cannoli king. All right. I was just making sure it wasn't tied to this like going around the mulberry bush type thing, like circling, because then the idea of getting moving sideways would kind of seem like breaking out of that pattern. Let's see what the annotations say here. I mean, I think that's still the heart of what's being communicated. Like, we're not going to just go with the flow type thing. 21 Pilots, migraine. Man, it keeps referencing migraine. Tyler explains his distress ranges from up, down, and sideways, where the ups and downs represent the highs and lows of life. Moving sideways, however, suggests that one's not focused on the ups and downs, but rather living in the moment. If up and down represent an emotional fluctuation, sideways implies a stable spot in between the two, a peace of mind where one is able to freely explore in the terrain from side to side. I mean, that could fit in line with this keeping the sidewalk under our feet type thing, like staying grounded, staying on a path. Let me know if you have any other insight on that. Ain't no sunny skies till you finally realize that everybody relies on synthetic highs. They find someone to prescribe. Keep your bliss. There's nothing wrong with this. So again, he's defining what their bliss is. Their bliss is manufactured. And synthetic highs could, mean all kinds of different things. Fabricated, whether that's drugs or media. I mean, it could be 100 different things. Tyler's describing the momentary bliss that people use as self-care. Everyone relies on the bliss that makes life worth living to deal with the tough times, something people who struggle with mental illness may not encounter naturally. Tyler's always used his music and platform to raise awareness for mental health. I use music, this is 2020, humor, being alone, breaks from social media, family, uncomfortable and honest conversations with friends, and sometimes crying. A few tools, but they don't all work for everyone. Find what helps you take back ground lost. In an interview with Zane Lowe, Tyler explained that his feeling of bliss was inspired by the euphoric feeling of being away from home for the first time. Okay, we read this at the beginning. We just want to feel it all. Keep your pills, save your breath. Which this could also be, we want to feel it all, right? Because the idea would be a synthetic bliss is generally used to medicate actual depression, sadness, fear, anxieties. So he's more so saying like you can keep the synthetic highs. Yeah, we're going to feel the lows, but we want to feel it all. I want to feel the highs of life. I want to feel the lows of life. I don't want to live in this like malaise, just medicating myself, ignoring what's actually there. So I think that that's the heart of what's being communicated there. When times aren't the best and I'm on the edge, I'll listen for a song in the distance. Mulberry Street, so good to see you. I wonder if he's saying Mulberry Street is the song that he'll be listening for, because again, if the song is about feeling it all, and not getting swept up in ultimately like just the movement of culture. So when times aren't the best, I'm on the edge, I'll listen for a song in the distance, and it'll be Mulberry Street, which tells you it's okay to feel some of the ways that you're feeling. Don't feel the need to cover it all up. They can keep your sunny days. You can keep your bliss, because ultimately I think, and I don't think it's a criticism of those that are actually happy, those that are actually joyful, right? It's not like you either are miserable or fake happy. There is an actual in-between space of real joy, of real happiness. But the reality is, the nature of balance, as I think we think about it sometimes, is really a myth. There's no perfect balance. What is a person doing when they balance? Right? I'm on one foot right now. What am I having to do? I'm having to utilize my arms, my legs to counterbalance myself one way or the other. It's not just like, whoop, done, balanced. Even with really good balance, it's because you've learned how to counter and when to counter, where to put your weight, where to put the pressure, where to put your eyes. And so even in the realities of life, when you have actual joy, it's not just like, oh, done, perfect. No, it's always counterbalancing against that which is fake and that the pain. And, and so in the same way, I don't think he's criticizing those that are actually happy. But it is this idea of like, you can keep all your fake stuff, okay? Even on my bad days, when I'm on the edge, I'm going to remind myself that I want to feel it all. And at least I'm present. I'm like walking on the sidewalk, not going with the flow. I'm that whole idea. So anyways, very cool song, man. Continuing on with a strong album, strong message. I'm loving this era still. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, but thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.